Coming up on today's show, we're going to talk about 2K22. We've had some time with the game. We've gone through and played all of the modes, and overall, I'm having a good time with the game. But there are some big problems with it. We're going to get into a lot of the issues that players have been having with the game on today's show. Hey everybody, welcome back to Assemble. I'm Matt, great to have you here. Today we are talking about problems. We're talking about the issues. We're going to air some grievances here on the show because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The game is not perfect. We're having fun with it. I'm enjoying streaming the game. I'm enjoying just playing the game. Gameplay is fun. I don't mind the new controls. There's a lot of good stuff. Entrances look phenomenal. Community creations are dynamite. There is a problem when it comes to community creations, and it's not the people making the stuff, it's that we're having issues with uploading and renders and crashes. Not to mention some of the bugs that players are experiencing in the game during certain matches. One of the bigger problems that I was having initially, before I started getting into all the custom creations and the issues surrounding that, was just the periodic crash that I was getting when it comes to universe mode. It's one of the big things for me that needs a patch. Now I know there's gonna be a plethora of patches and updates that we all need, right? So hang on tight, because there are some more. But universe mode, it simply would just crash randomly when I'm just trying to set up something new or go through a week's worth of bookings. And if I do have any custom created superstars or additional attires put in there, starting off that week's show, it often ended up crashing for me. Also, this is all after patch 1.5 update, where we were supposed to receive a huge amount of updates and some fixes for a variety of the modes. My factions as well continuously crashing for me. On a regular basis, I would try to log in and then get booted out by the servers saying that it can't connect to it. Or I'm just simply even loading up the game and it would give me the error saying that it can't connect. Now, one of the biggest and most notable errors and crashes and bugs that we are seeing has to do with custom creations and custom renders. The ability to add renders in for the images for superstars that you are uploading, I think is a phenomenal feature. It gives the game a whole new breath of life where I can add in the likes of CM Punk and Bryan Danielson and Cody Rhodes, and the list goes on. Anybody that want to add to for their custom images. It's a great feature that should have been there years ago. It keeps the roster updated. It keeps things fresh. These are all good things. But what we're seeing right now online is how much this is actually breaking the game for players. And I finally got to experience it myself firsthand, like a lot. I would see a couple of crashes here and there after I downloaded a few superstars or even a few different attires for superstars like Becky Lynch. So the other day I went in and I tried downloading a huge amount of AEW stars. I want to build out my AEW roster and set up a universe mode for it. Well, I got news for you. I can't even get close to doing that type of thing because I was experiencing game-breaking crashes. I tried setting up a standard one-on-one match between CM Punk and Bryan Danielson. Before I could even select the superstars, I clicked on one-on-one match, then I went in to select a custom arena and I picked my custom arena of AEW Dynamite. As soon as I picked the arena and click start to accept that to then pick my superstars, the game completely crashed. And this was happening over and over and over again. I couldn't even select the stars I wanted to. My only alternative option I had one time was selecting Monday Night Raw, then putting in 2 custom stars and play the match that way. And even when I did that, I still had the game crash on me. So what I notice in my experience is when I am going in and downloading a large amount of custom creations, that's what's causing the huge amount of crashing and bugs in the game on this front. Which is really too bad because community creations is such a huge component of the game. The updates for renders is awesome feature to have, but it is literally breaking the game. Now I have to go in and I need to delete all of these custom creations that I have downloaded and really start from scratch just to make sure I'm not having these crashes. This is also not considering and talking about the game bugs that players are having in 2K22, from PlayStation 4 to 5, Xbox One to the latest gen consoles of the Series X. We're seeing it everywhere, at least in just candid, casual feedback from players online, in the community, on Twitter. A lot of the posts seem to be from the PlayStation side. I don't know if that's just going to be just happenstance and that's just casual feedback, but across platforms, there are a lot of bugs. The collision detection in the game is one aspect that I've experienced as a big problem. When I am throwing somebody off of the ropes and trying to do a strike or try to do a grapple move, I can't time it. Now, I've said this before, I am terrible at video games. It's most likely user error. But I have sat there to try and get the timing down, to try and make this work, and I feel like the timing is off. I can't pinpoint it. I can't make it happen fluidly, and it makes it for a frustrating experience. The other glitch that I have seen and have seen reported online too is even throwing people into the ropes, and they just run into the ropes forever and they don't stop. When you go in universe mode and you have a rivalry set up or you edit it and you try to change it, it messes up the cutscene. I did a live stream the other day and I wanted the match to be between Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. The AI set up the match between Becky and Naomi. That was the rivalry, the storyline they wanted to push. So I swapped it out, played the match as normal, then it ended in a cutscene, and it was Naomi in the cutscene. Then it just followed up by the game just crashing. Ladder matches need fixing and updating. Moving the ladder around freely is awesome now that we have that in the game, but the detection there and grappling it to pick it up and move it elsewhere doesn't seem to work consistently enough. And we get some more traditional glitches and gameplay issues of your opponent just exiting the ring for no apparent reason, standing outside for just a long period of time, followed by coming back into the ring for no reason. Also, custom created championships, something that we love within the wrestling games. For so many players, it's giving everyone issues where the titles are coming out fully black and they're non-functional. Great people in the community have sent me clips as well of weird collision detection moments or infinite loops of the menus within universe mode. So hopefully we can see a patch come down the pipe really soon. We had a day one patch, but it feels like the early release of the game before the global release of it on the Friday felt like things were still being tested out. And then we got a big patch on day one on the Friday of the release of the game. My only hope is 2K is going to get in there and update this game a lot, and for the next foreseeable future, for the next year or so, to pull out some of these game-breaking crashes, a lot to do with community creations and renders, let alone The Undertaker warping through and endlessly walking through Hell in the Cell and disappearing. Some of it, very funny. But it shouldn't be this way. With over 2 years of having this game on the shelf, it feels that if you are playing the core base game without touching anything else outside of community creations and just playing the game as it is intended, base game, nothing crazy, it will reduce the amount of issues. But that's not how we intend to play the game. Creation piece is a massive part of these games. It's why it's in the games, and they know this as the developers. I feel that this should have been tested way more. It's disappointing that these issues, like universe mode crashing, like the render issues, the creation suite, glitching when you're running endlessly, I feel those things could have been mitigated before the release. Is it unplayable? No. Is there a lot of good in there? Oh, hell yeah. I'm having an awesome time for moment-to-moment gameplay, putting those bugs aside, putting those crashes aside. It's better than 2K20, which is not a high bar. I know that. But I am enjoying this quite a bit. I just think it's unfortunate that players are having these experiences. Players are turning on their PlayStation 4s and they are in an infinite loop, or the game is continuously crashing, or they cannot experience the game that they paid for. This is a larger issue with video games today, that a game releases and we are all expected to wait for patch updates to fix problems versus dealing with them ahead of time. So let me know in the comments, what are some of the big things that need to be addressed for you? What's not working for you? We're the players and we're the ones investing our time and money into this franchise. We want it to succeed. We are enjoying it for the most part, but I think it's important that we have these conversations and we discuss what is not working and that it's not all perfect all the time. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you enjoyed this episode, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, follow me on Twitch and on Twitter and on YouTube and all that fun stuff. And I will see you on the next episode.